Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines.
Residents and traders in Nigeria's border towns abandon Naira for Sefa following scarcity of redesigned currency. Central Bank of Nigeria soft pedals, directs commercial banks to start payment of new Naira notes to customers over the counter. But are they available? Clearview celebrates first Nigerian woman to be named editor of a national tabloid, Dr. Doyin Abiola at 80.
I am Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. Residents of some communities and marketers in the Ilela local government area of Sokoto State have begun to abandon the Nigerian currency for Sefa because of the shortage of new Naira notes. The residents, including traders and commercial drivers, are also rejecting the old Naira notes, insisting that customers who do not have the new redesigned currency must pay for goods and services with Sefa. The CFA is the legal tender in 8 West African countries of Benin, Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Guinea-Bissau, Mali, Niger, Senegal, and Togo, which make up the West African Economic and Monetary Union. Findings by Clearview News Desk indicates that businessmen and traders in the Zurmi and Shinkafi local government areas of Zamfara State, which border the Niger Republic, prefer the franc to the naira. The Central Bank of Nigeria has directed commercial banks to start paying the new Naira notes to customers over the counter in the banking halls. The development was confirmed in a statement this Thursday by the bank's Director of Corporate Communications, Osita Nwanisobi. The Apex Bank assured Nigerians that the queues at automated teller machine stands will end soon, while directing banks to pay new notes over the counter, which was previously banned. The statement read, "We have equally noticed the queues at automated teller machines across the country and an upward trend in the cases of people stocking and aggregating the newly introduced banknotes they serially obtained from ATMs for reasons best known to them." With barely 23 days to the 2023 general elections, the All Progressives Grand Alliance (APGA) has officially unveiled Hadiza Mohammed as the vice presidential candidate and Jonathan Elendu as the presidential campaign organization director general of the party. Unveiling his running mate on Wednesday in Abuja, the presidential candidate of APGA, Chekwa Sokorie, said since Edozie Njoku has been reaffirmed by the Supreme Court as the authentic national chairman of APGA, INEC should do the needful without further delay. Clearview News' Imefo Nokon has the details.
On the 9th of May 2022, the Supreme Court delivered a judgment in favor of Edozie Njoku as the national chairman of APGA, which INEC was duly served, yet the electoral body fails to comply. Following the reaffirmation by the Supreme Court, the presidential candidate of All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, Chekwas Okori, and his vice, Hadiza Mohammed, swung into action, saying it is confident of victory during the polls.
I am confident that as I march side by side with Ajia Hadiza Mohammed to campaign across Nigeria, our strong and progressive message, which will be launched in the days ahead, along with the public presentation of our manifesto, tagged the Revolutionary Agenda, shall resonate and introduce fresh and exciting new narratives to our proposed governance agenda and progressive ideological thrust.
My fellow women, this is our chance. This is our moment. APGA has shown us the way, and I shall follow. The role of women in Nigeria building. I am a woman, and I represent millions of Nigerian women today.
The national chairman of ABGA, Edozi Njoku, however, used the medium to call on Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to respect the Supreme Court ruling.
I'm pleading with the hierarchy of INEC to please take a few steps backwards and look and see where the decision that came out of the Supreme Court is going. In the days and weeks ahead, we shall traverse the length and breadth of Nigeria to sell your message of hope, your vision of a new Nigeria, your formula for a renewed Nigeria, where security of lives and property are not just mere words that have no resemblance to the reality of our lives.
The All Progressives Grand Alliance, ABGA, is calling on all well-meaning Nigerians to come out en masse to vote Chekwas Adiza in the February 25th poll to restructure and bring the desired change Nigerians long and wished for.
This is the dawn of a new era. Congratulations to Nigerian women. The declaration of Hadiza Mohammed as the vice presidential candidate of ABGA, though barely 3 weeks to the presidential elections, is indeed a soft landing.
Imefon Okon, reporting for Clearview News.
And still talking politics, reactions have continued to trail the alleged unguarded remarks by presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, during his rally in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State on Monday. Governor Udom Emmanuel had, while reacting on Monday, expressed disappointment that instead of selling his manifesto to the people, Tinubu ended up abusing his principal, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), and threatened his life. Reacting in a statement, Akwa Ibom Integrity Alliance, a social political group, gave Tinubu 7 days to retract the threats and to apologize or risk immediate legal actions. In the statement by its chairman, Stephen Abia, AIIA said failure of Tinubu and the organizers of the January 30th, 2023 rally to voluntarily retract the unfortunate and unguarded threats to the life of Governor Udom after 24 hours made them to conclude that the threats were real, premeditated, and seriously conceived. The Comptroller General of the Federal Fire Service, Jaji Abdul Ganiyu, has charged his management team, state and zonal controllers on the need to come up with strategies and best ways to provide fire cover in the 2023 general elections. The #1 firefighter made this plea while handing over keys of new equipment and buses to the zonal heads at the headquarters in Abuja on Wednesday. Clearview's correspondent Florence Joshua gives us the details.
Handing over 8 branded fire trucks to the Assistant Controller General of Lagos, Edo, Kano, amongst others, the Comptroller General, Engineer Jaji O. Abdulganiyu, charged his officers to be on alert in the wake of fire outbreaks in their zones before, during, and after the elections. He is confident that his teams, their expertise and experience, will add value to the forthcoming elections as he reads some riot acts.
After general election, to this end, the service has set up a comprehensive fire safety plan that includes 1. Increased fire safety inspection, 2. Fire prevention and protection measures, 3. An increased presence of fire personnel in area prone to fire outbreak. To comprehensively achieve the above listed, the following should be done. A. Fire personnel will be on standby to respond to any fire incidences that may occur before, during, and after election. B. Fire safety education and awareness campaign will also be conducted to ensure that citizens are well informed on the fire safety measures and protocols. C. The Federal Fire Service will work closely with local fire department and other emergency services to ensure that all fire incidents are dealt with swiftly and effectively.
On attacks on firefighters, Abdulganiyu promises to take appropriate actions against perpetrators within the confines of the law.
And the way they attack our men is obviously not encouraging. And that is the reason why we want to talk about it and make sure that apart from saving the life of the citizen, we need to save our life first. So if you have that brainstorm, we talk about it, they too will go to their various areas and discuss with their men.
The gathering of the fire officers is coming days to the general election with a view to deliberate and see how to forestall fire outbreaks at the strategic places before, during, and after elections. Florence Joshua, reporting for Clearview News.
The administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has recorded a number of successes. This is coming from no other person than the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema. At the presentation of the ministry scorecard, the minister noted that since President Buhari assumed office in 2015, the administration has been able to tackle insecurity, corruption, unemployment, and many other issues.
Of course, in 2015, when Mr. President came, he had three priorities that Mr. President identified on his ascension in 2015 to office as President of Nigeria. We all know this, and it was a mantra for the first 4 years of this administration: security, fighting corruption, job creation. And and obviously we try enormously to address and support the large number of Nigerians who are, as I said, caught up in foreign countries. So, we've seen in partnership with the International Organization of Migration, what we've been doing to repatriate stranded Nigerians who are caught in different countries. In Libya, Mr. President ordered planes to go and bring back our citizens, and a lot of them young girls being trafficked. We've been very, very engaged in ensuring that each and every single one of them should be brought back home. The first aspect of his tenure was foreign relations, securing your immediate neighborhood through diplomatic engagement with the countries around you. And one of the things Mr. President has put a premium on is that good relations, not just with the countries around Nigeria, but with countries around the world.
On bilateral relations, the minister said Buhari's administration has maintained and built on cordial relations with other countries, as well as safe return of stranded Nigerians in foreign countries, agriculture and trade facilitation were other areas the minister scored the president high. And in Benue State, Governor Samuel Otom has urged the Catholic Diocese of Makurdi to establish a university to immortalize and honor late Reverend Father Michael Murphy, Benue's longest-serving priest in the state. The governor told the gathering that late Father Murphy had always wanted to build a Catholic university in the state. Governor Otom made the call while commissioning township roads in the state capital in honor of Father Michael Murphy and Mrs. Victoria Azenber Puso.
Celebrating a life well spent in service to humanity, the Benue State government has honored Benue State's longest-serving Catholic priest, Reverend Father Michael Murphy, by naming a road recently constructed after him. Reverend Murphy passed on November last year.
The activities of the Church of Makurdi Diocese, and especially of his school, St. Dominic's High School, Sachi, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Today, we are renaming this road from here down to Georgia Kume Road, and from here backward down to Georgia Kume Road, where we have constructed. We have decided as a state executive council to name this road as Reverend Father Murphy Crescent.
On behalf of the entire St. Dominic's High School community, we want to say a very big thank you to you for making our road very easily accessible and for making our movement in and out of the school very comfortable.
As part of delivering the dividends of democracy in the state, the Benue State government also commissioned another road.
On behalf of the church in Benue State, I wish to commission this road in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Both roads commissioned are part of the 6 roads recently awarded by the state government.
And on the foreign scene, Iran has blamed Israel for a drone attack on a military site in the central city of Isfahan on Saturday. Its ambassador to the UN said findings indicated Israel was responsible for the attempted act of aggression. He said Iran reserves the right to respond resolutely to any threats or wrongful actions by Israel. Israel has neither confirmed nor denied it was behind the attack, which Iran said caused minor damage, though this has not been independently verified. The two countries are arch-foes and in recent years have been engaged in what has been described as a shadow war of unclaimed attacks on each other's assets, infrastructure, and nationals. Israel is mostly known to have carried out strikes on what it says are Iranian weapons transfers to militants in Lebanon and is also believed to have sabotaged Iran's nuclear sites and killed Iranian nuclear scientists. Iran, which rejects Israel's right to exist, has been accused by Israel of attacking and planning to attack Jewish targets and people. Each side is also believed to have attacked the other's shipping. In a letter to the UN Secretary-General, Iranian Ambassador Amir Sassid Irvani accused Israel of an attempt to launch a terrorist attack against a workshop complex belonging to Iran's defense ministry. He did not specify what evidence Iran had to this. If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. When we come back, we bring you stories on women and children. Stay with us.
The news continues now with stories from our area of specialization, women and children. After the main transmission of our news, we rebroadcast on our YouTube page, Clearview TV. Do you operate a women or children's NGO? Are you at the helm of affairs of a government establishment or a corporate organization involved in the affairs of women and children? Then you are our partners in progress. We have a mission to better the lot of our women and children. Join us to celebrate womanhood and work assiduously to better the lot of the Nigerian child. This is our mission.
Welcome back. In continuation of our series celebrating women, Clearview News Desk beams the spotlight on the first Nigerian woman to be named editor of a national daily, Doyinsola Abiola. What really makes her unique and sets her apart from other women?
Doyinsola Abiola is a trailblazer in the Nigerian media space. She was the first woman to be named editor of a national daily and also the first Nigerian woman to preside over the fortunes of a national newspaper group. She attended the University of Ibadan, where she earned a degree in English and Drama in 1969 and started her journalism career as a reporter with the Daily Sketch. In that humble beginning, she also tried her hands at column writing, just as her weekly column Tiro was waxing strong, addressing sundry issues of public concern including gender matters. She left for the United States to pursue her master's program in journalism. She returned to Nigeria and was offered the position of woman editor at the Daily Times. She rejected the offer on the grounds that it was an attempt to pigeonhole her talents. She was later employed as a features writer and rose to become the group features editor. The Daily Times crisis of 1975 and 76 and the fouled atmosphere at the workplace offered her opportunity to embark on her doctoral program in journalism, so she again traveled to the United States on study leave. In 1979, armed with her PhD, she returned to the Daily Times and was deployed to the editorial board, where she enjoyed the company of the likes of Dele Giwa and Ama Organ. It was, however, to be a short stay, as the newly formed Concord Group of newspapers soon invited her to be its pioneer daily editor. In 1981, Doyin Abiola married the first publisher and proprietor of the National Concord newspaper, Chief Moshood Abiola. She was promoted to be the managing director and editor-in-chief in 1986. She became the first Nigerian woman to become the editor-in-chief of a daily newspaper in Nigeria. Doyin Abiola's career at the National Concord newspaper spanned for 3 decades. All through her work there, she was able to shape public opinion on a number of issues and guide the Concord Group into public reckoning and respect. After her Concord days, she continued to lend her talents and time to the continued effort to mold the Nigerian media into a respectable institution through column writing, training, and mentoring. She also served in various capacities in the media industry in Nigeria. She was the chairperson of the awards nominating panel at the first Nigerian Merit Award hosted in Nigeria. She was a member of the Advisory Council, Faculty of Social and Management Sciences, Ogun State University. She has also served as chairperson of CNN African Journalist of the Year Awards. Over the years, in many media houses in Nigeria and abroad, Dr. Doyin Abiola's proteges have been found in public and private positions, acquitting themselves admirably. For her lifelong devotion to advancing the frontiers of knowledge and strengthening the media as a pillar of democracy, the trustees of the Diamond Awards for Media Excellence unanimously approved the selection of Dr. Doyin Abiola as a recipient of its Lifetime Achievement Award at the 24th DANE on December 5, 2015. She was the second woman to receive a DAME Lifetime Achievement Award after Mrs. Omobola Onajide. She was granted Eisenhower Fellowship in 1986. Clearview News celebrates Dr. Doyin Abiola for her extolling skills, brilliance, passion, and contributions to shaping the dynamics of the Nigerian media, fearlessly chasing and upholding the truth, and working zealously for the good of the majority, particularly in good governance and democracy.
Our educational system has gone haywire. There's a shortage of manpower, adequate manpower, in all professions. So journalism cannot be different. To me, the industry itself has to reevaluate the workings of the industry. It is not run as a business. It is not sustainable. Every day you hear about a new medium coming up. One, they don't have, where do they get the personnel from? Two, the way we run the business, like all other businesses we run, is that we hardly think of, we don't think of how sustainable what we are doing is. We never ask question, where is the money going to come from?
And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories.
Traders and residents of some communities in the Ilela local government area of Sokoto State have started to abandon the Nigerian currency for CFA because of the shortage of new Naira notes. The residents, including traders and commercial drivers, are also rejecting the old Naira notes. The Central Bank of Nigeria has directed commercial banks to start paying the new Naira notes to customers over the counter in the banking halls to ease up the difficulties Nigerians face accessing their accounts. The development was confirmed in a statement this Thursday by CBN's Director of Corporate Communications, Osita Nwanisobi. The Apex Bank reassured Nigerians that the queues at automated teller machine stands will end soon. We also told you that Clearview News Desk has celebrated the first woman to be pronounced an editor of a national tabloid, Doyinsola Abiola. Doyinsola, a lifetime achiever, was also a recipient of the Diamond Awards for Media Excellence in 2015.
Remember to like us on Facebook, Clearview Television. Follow us on Twitter at Clearview Online. Follow us on Instagram at Clearview News. And also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Clearview TV. Many thanks for watching. I am Gloria Atta.